Welcome back, everybody. I am working on chat real quick. Give me 1 second here. Why can't I do this? Okay. Is that working? It looks like it's working. Excuse me. Let's see if we can make this happen. Nope. All right. We won't worry about that right now. I was going to try to put the chat so that people could see everyone talking from Twitch and YouTube, but it does not look like that's going to be super easy to do. Let's get everything else set up. Do one of those. Yeah, that's a good spot for the bird. I think that'll be fine. Shoot that down so I don't click on it on accident. There we go. Okay. Let's go back and grab everybody else here now. Alexander, welcome in. Put that over here. I don't have Twitch chat up. There must be a way to get all of the chats in one place. Like, there has to be. So, we'll figure that out eventually. That being said, Twitch has still not been super active, so we might not need Twitch. We might only need YouTube. I don't know. But beyond that, creator dashboard. We're just gonna draw stuff today. That's it. That's all we got. It's Friday. It is the viewer suggestion. I discovered on Wednesday that the company I was using to have music no longer offers free music without charging like $50 a month. So we're not going to do that anymore. So we'll have to see what happens. We'll see if we can find some other free streaming music, or at least cheap streaming music, because I was paying them, but apparently not enough. So we will deal with that. But today's going to be a quiet, chill stream, I think. Let's get the stream manager out here, so if anybody is on Twitch, we can see them. Put that over there. And there we go. Let's start off. Let's draw some rugbies today. I hope everybody had a wonderful week. You guys are going to be able to hear the squeakiness of my chair super loud now because of the lack of music. I used to have some music that was done by Music D20 on Patreon, but they have, I think within the last year, changed their Patreon to a different style of thing. They're doing different. They're not offering music anymore. So I stopped using them just kind of out of hesitation, because I didn't want to just keep using their stuff if they weren't supporting it the same way. But we might have to go back to them. They had some pretty cool stuff, and I liked supporting them. Maybe there's music roll 20. That could be it. I'm not sure. But we're gonna start off with this. We'll go from there. guess we could try it. I think I still have it set up. Let's take a look. Now that I'm thinking about it. Maybe actually I could try that. Unfortunately, the issue with my chair is that it is wildly broken. Will Savino, that was the name of the artist. Music D20. Okay, let's see how loud that is. We'll get a little bit of music going in here. You guys might not be able to hear it at all. See if that's playing. There we go. Ba, ba, ba. Oops, that was the wrong button. Okay, we'll try that out. There we go. A little bit of music, a little bit of ambiance. Draw more rugbies. Alexander, how have you been? How's the New Year's treating you? There's on. Welcome in. How are you? I'm doing well today. How are you? Tired. Recently finished the original series of Twin Peaks. And I was like, I'm gonna watch the movie. That was a rough movie to get through, and it was longer than I thought it would be. So I stayed up a little too late last night watching very strange movies. Hopefully I'll get to watch the new season, though, next week or two. Warm up with a little rugby sketch here. Cold, 21 outside. Wow. I think it's about, it might be 40 or 50 here. It's not bad. It's kind of nice. Let's draw a little bit of a chunky. Got a big commission. Commissions are currently closed, so I have a kind of a big one to do. We'll be working on that for the next few weeks. I want to get a new video out too. People seem to like the DM advice for YouTube shorts, so maybe I'll do some more of those. There are definitely people that don't watch the video and just comment, which is really funny to me. But that's okay. That's going to be, regardless of what I do on YouTube, that's going to happen. Might need a little bit more warm up here. Does anybody have rugby suggestions? I haven't done a Talby in a while. I'll do a Talby. Rugby is just fun to draw. It's just a weird little noodle monster, which is great. Any fun plans for the weekend? I might be meeting with some Patreon members, or not Patreon, but Discord members, which is kind of fun, that I haven't met yet. It is OrcaCon, I think, this weekend, which I don't think I'm going to go to, but maybe next year. Maybe next year I'll get a booth. That could be fun. Eichmann, hello, hello, welcome in. Oh, that is an adorable emote. Well done. Well done. Let me give you a quick shout out here. If I can remember how to spell, that'd be great. How are you today? Hope your New Year's treating you well. For those of you on YouTube, actually, I'm just going to copy a link. Can I do that? Oh my gosh, I can. I'm going to post and give you a shout out in YouTube as well. Nope, that didn't work. That's the IO chat. Copy link address? Let's try that. Boom. Go check out Eichmann. There we go. Amazing artist. Amazing illustrator. Really fun stuff. How did the Christmas presents turn out? Did you get the Catan board painted? My Christmas presents were about 2 days late. Because I'm bad like that. But I got them out the door, which is good. So gotta play a short game in New Year's. Nice. That's awesome. That is awesome. How's Twitch treating you? Twitch has been weirdly slow for me recently. Very quiet. I don't know if that's just Twitch or me. Could be me. Oh, I was like, why is the YouTube or the music so loud? It's because my speakers are turned all the way up. I'm on top of my game today. Everything's going to be great. Forgot to give Rugby his earring. All goblins need a little bit of gold. Magical treasure to carry around with them. Especially Rugby, because he's a magical little guy. With some long legs. Yeah. It's a tall bee. I haven't drawn a tall bee in a while, so it seemed appropriate. No one really knows how tall the rugby is inside the bugbear costume. I like to think of it like the TARDIS. It's just bigger on the inside. Long lives. College of Swords, Flamboyant, Male Fire Genasi. We can put that on the list for you. Why am I using that keyboard? Using that keyboard like a sucker. Let me move this over here so I can have a mouse. We will add that to the list. Uh-oh. I lost the list. There it is. Okay. We'll put that on the list, and I think I'm ready to get started here. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a poll for the YouTubers for pen color. And then I'm going to start probably with purple, because I like purple. I think it looks good. And we'll go from there. So for those of you who are just joining in or have not joined us before, the way this works is I have a list of all of the character suggestions from Wednesday and Monday from the community post. I'm going to roll a die. The die will decide which one we draw, and we just go from there. So if you have not suggested anything this week, you're very welcome to add one to the list, and I'll put it up there, and we'll see what happens. I have 20. I'm 20 today, starting off, so we'll see how far we can get. 19. A red dragonborn warlock with a scythe. Red dragonborn. I'm trying to remember what red dragons look like. You know what? Nah, I want to do purple. I still want to do purple, even though it's a red dragon. Still want to do purple. If he's got a scythe, he's probably not a big burly boy. Otherwise, he'd have like a full axe. Maybe that's not fair. What do we think? Should scythes be... Are scythes more dexterous? Or do you need lots of strength to use a scythe? This is a warlock too, so... LG, welcome in. Did the Drunken Dwarf Faces to celebrate the Lord of the Rings Return of Moria launch ever get added? Did that get put on? I don't think I saw that on Monday. So unless something got added after Wednesday, let me look. If that wasn't from this week, it's not up there. But I remember seeing it a long time ago. Yeah, so that wouldn't be on the list anymore. We change the list out every week just so that people can resuggest things. I'm going to need a second mouse. With this new desk setup, I definitely need a second mouse. There we go. Okay, we have 23. There were two more that didn't get added to that. Do red dragons have fins? I can't remember. Or do they have big old horns? I feel like they have horns. Sure for the four? Yeah. Yeah, so we change them out every week. Because after a week, there's really no way for me to keep it one person, one suggestion per week. And they could just pile up and pile up. And so that's why we roll the dice. We let the dice gods decide what gets drawn every week. And then every week we start fresh. Ambience. We are listening to Will Savino today. Does some amazing Dungeons and Dragons themed music for DMs. I highly suggest you go check them out. You can find them at I believe Music D20 on Patreon. They might have started a new project though, so I'm not sure if that is still active. Arcadian Merchant, welcome in. Hello, hello. Welcome to Twitch. I'm a happy camper. Warhammer The Old World is coming out soon, which is how I got into D&D. Nice. Well, that's awesome. Is Old World, is that a tabletop, or is it going to be like a computer game, or what's up with that? Do people still say computer games, or are games just games now? Does it matter? I feel old. A new year makes me feel old again. I want to give this guy like a robe. If he's got a scythe, he's got to be a little... He's a warlock too, so he doesn't need like heavy armor. I feel like this should very much be a... maybe not even like a battle scythe, you know? Like it's just a real scythe that the warlock magic makes highly functional and terrifying. Stefan, hello. Welcome in. Tabletop game. Cool. That's neat. That is neat. I'm going to give this guy a tail, because I think Dragonborn should have tails. You can fight me on that later. Give him some spiny beard. Beard scutes, or whatever they're called. There's a specific name for the little, like, fins and things on lizards. I can't remember what it is. I need Druid or Corvus here to correct me, because my brain don't think long term. My brain don't memory so good. Doing fine, enjoying the new year. Nice. Oh, that was a question. Drag Wars should have tails. I agree. Also, I showed the Disco Gnome video you made to my character for another artist, and they loved it. They got inspired. That's great. That was a commission a long time ago, and when I was working on it, I started playing with the colors because they didn't have a color scheme they wanted, and I thought that was funny, so I threw it up there as a short. Yeah. I should do more of those. Just random color shenanigans. Alright, help me out, chat. What kind of clothes should this Dragonborn warlock have? Maybe some leather armor? Maybe just robes? Bikini. It's not like the lizard boys need their need the Actually, would a lizard like a coat? They don't generate their own heat, so I feel like it's like wrapping a potato. You know, if it starts warm, it might stay warm longer, but can't get any more heat. Doing a lot of work, but you're holding stuff down. That's great. Wobbles ask, can I get a Hoya? I don't know what that means. Is that a bad thing? Did I get tricked? Did I say something that's what I was supposed to say? Or is that a race of thing that I don't know what it is for D&D? Hell yeah. When I play a Dragonborn, I always do a Russian accent, and I don't know why. It just fits me. Robes and light armor? Okay. Oh, yeah. Gotcha. Thank you for the emote. That helps. If you go to Twitch, there is an uwu soundboard. So have fun with that. I only put it on the soundboard because it sounded like our friend Jonas, and I thought that was really funny. And I accused him of making the sound, but he denies it. So we'll trust him. Western Justice, hello. Sorry I haven't joined in a while. I just got kicked out of my house. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Do you find a new place yet, or are you still looking? I can add a portal hero, snow leopard folk, who shapes portal into weapons. I drew that one 2 weeks ago, I believe. Do you want me to add it again? If you do, that's fine. But it did already get drawn, so I don't know if you want something different. Also, would a Dragonborn be cold-blooded or warm-blooded? That's a good question. I think lizard folk would be cold-blooded. Dragonborn are probably warm-blooded. Yeah, I guess an ice dragon would probably be cold-blooded. Excuse me. I need to turn the heater on. It's getting chilly in here. Yes, add it again. I'm going to add it to the list again. Movement, brother. Okay, that's good. I'm glad you have somewhere to go. I spent not a good chunk of my 20s. I spent a good chunk of my first year in college couch surfing, trying to find a place to live. And then I moved back in with my parents for a little while. And then I went back to college. So it sucks. It's never fun. It's never fun when you're not sure where you're sleeping for a while. So I hope you get that figured out. I hope you have I'm glad you have your brother to stay with. I did not see you draw. Yeah, it's in the Discord in draw if you want to check there. But I will also add it back to the list unless you want to do something different. Let me know. Oop. Whoops. That was the wrong one. Come here. Okay. I think Dragonborns are warm-blooded because they are transformed humans by nature. I agree. Tie-Dye. Welcome in, by the way. I think I like looking at Dragonborn as like cursed humans, were dragons, if you will. So I think that makes a lot more sense that they are warm-blooded. If we were drawing a lizard boy, I'd say cold-blooded. So what we've just confirmed today is that Dragonborns can indeed wear bikinis and coats. Both are fine. Oliver, welcome in. All right. we got to do some armor here. Let's think about this. Got to channel my inner dragonborn. Fire. Always fire. More fire. Fire, fire, fire. Maybe bite somebody. I give up. I'm looking up reference. Leather armor. Here we go. Ooh, I like that. That's cool. Buckles, buckles, more buckles. That one's pretty dope. All right. We're going to use this. I've started doing this a little more where I like try to share my... Nope, this one's a weird one because it's on Pinterest, so I can't share that. I like sharing my references with you guys. I think that's great. This one is a little bit weirder. Actually, you know what I could do? I could just snapshot it. There we go. I'll show you guys my reference, and then we can look at it from there. And that way I can look at it too, which is nice. So cool. I'm gonna try to do something with this. So I really like how it splits down the middle, and then has this like upper neck piece. So I think we're gonna start with that. We're gonna start with the what do you want to call this? Gorget. Is that right? References, people. Always use more references. I had an instructor once say that references are the death of creativity, but like, I don't agree with that. I don't wholly agree with that. I think you can definitely like overload yourself with references, or if like you spend too much time looking at references instead of just being free and creative. Like sketching and doodling is great, but like having no reference can be stifling sometimes. I found it. Could you do a full body of it? I guess. I mean, it just really depends on what I'm feeling at the time. If you'd like to commission a full body piece, I think we can do that too. But if we roll it, I will draw it. And we'll try to do more of the body this time. I really like this like upper piece. That's really cool. I mean, it's just like a extension for the pauldron, but I always love those. This one looks pretty neat. So there we go. I like that. I don't know if I'm going to extend down the bottom. I think I might just, I might do like scale right here. I think that makes sense. If you're just redrawing what's referenced, I can see that. But if you're using it reference to expand your horizons, two different things, it's completely plebeian option. Yeah, and I think that is part of the issue they were having, because this is specifically like they were talking about architecture. And so like if you just look at a building and then you make that building again, like yeah, there's no creativity there. But like that's the difference between, you know, plagiarism and references, using references. I'm going to put more buckles on this. Always more buckles. Actually, I think I want to put a boss right there, because I love them. Doesn't make a lot of sense with leather, but it's fine. Maybe we'll put a big eyeball on it. So every warlock patron needs a giant eyeball. I don't like that that goes all the way down. I think we're going to bring it up here. We'll get some plates in. If we put the hand down here, the scythe would probably come up like this. I wanted it to go down, but I just don't have enough room. I could draw the legs, I guess, but that's more work. Bri, welcome in. Hello, hello. I need a reference for camouflage on a 28mm tank and infantry, mostly World War II, but I'm getting into more modern stuff. Like for painting? Are you drawing that? Are you painting it? In a bowl, hello, hello. Long snoot dragonborn? Yeah. I like the long snoots. I was told once never copy anyone on anything ever for references. But I look at history and everything is a reference. Yeah, that's not how that works. So essentially, like, the thing you got to look at with references is like, is for the most part, it should be inspiring you. Like, you shouldn't be copying it one-to-one. But beyond that, like, every piece of art is something through the lens of an artist, right? Like, so that's why you can paint a flower and 10 different people will paint it all differently. If it's just taking a photo, even the photography will be slightly different. So when you just like straight up draw something or paint something or essentially copy it, like that's not, you're not adding anything to it. You're not achieving anything by not filtering it through your own lens. So references really need to be used in a way that are taking something and deriving something new from them. And sometimes you do want to just almost copy something. Like there are reasons to do that. Like if you're drawing something and you want something to have a specific cell phone, there's no reason that you can't find references of that cell phone and draw it, right? But you don't want to just photocopy it. Sometimes that works. Like you can take your own photos and just so you have that one-to-one reference. That's fine. Like there's nothing wrong with copying your own stuff. But when you're doing something artistic, you should always be trying to elevate something. Always trying to interpret it different or look at it in a new lens. And I think, especially like high school students and high school teachers always fight about this kind of thing. And like, don't draw anime. Really, what they're saying is don't just copy what you're drawing. That's really the issue they're having. But it's a good way to practice. You just can't claim it as your own stuff, you know. It's the argument of like fan art versus OCs versus plagiarism, I suppose. Okay, how are we going to draw this? How are we going to draw this scythe? That's the new question. Where do arms go? Where do arms go? How do arms do? That's the question. Because Mandy told everything should be unique, but nothing is. Yeah, I mean, everything is... art is derivative, and that's like... the more derivative it gets, the shittier it gets, generally, in my opinion. So, something to think about. but that's a philosophical art discussion. I mean, I'm drawing Dragonborn, right? Like, I didn't come up with the Dragonborn idea. I'm just drawing them. Everything's a little derivative, and that's okay. Fan art's great. There's something to be said about the technical skill and unique styling of something. Don't be scared to use references, people. That's all I'm saying. Just know how to use them right. What's derivative mean again? Derived or to be taken from something. So, yeah, like if somebody does one piece of art, say like Sonic the Hedgehog, and then someone's like, hey, you know what would be really fun? I like that concept, but I don't want it to be Sonic the Hedgehog, and I want him to have a gun. Now you have Bubsy the Rabbit. So that's kind of what that is. Derivative. But you also have like movements in art of like people changing art styles, and then people start imitating that and liking that, and that becomes a whole new thing. That's all derivative, but it doesn't have to be bad because of it is. All art is derivative because nothing comes from nothing. Like, very few things do. How do you feel about portrait and life drawing sort of art? Yeah, like I said, technical art skills are amazing. Like, they're not fun for me to do. I don't like doing them. But I have mad respect for people that can do it. It's just, for me, it's a lot of time and tedium that I don't enjoy, that part of it. If I do want to do like that kind of stuff, I like landscapes. I like landscape drawing and painting. But yeah, portraits, not my strong suit. I have one on my art station I did of Nathan Fillion just for practice. That was fun, but yeah, not my jam. Wait, Sonic with a gun? That's Shadow. Yeah, but that's within their own universe, so they have the right to do that. But also, yeah, Shadow's derivative. They didn't change much, did they? It's the same thing like like there's a difference between something being derivative and like what's the other word? Parody. Parody is slightly derivative. I mean, I guess it's super derivative, but like I'm thinking of like Superman and what's the Marvel equivalency of Superman? There are some other ones. Like Spider-Man. Like those are two companies that are just straight up copying each other, like purposefully copying each other. I wouldn't consider that derivative. It's just plagiarism. Like they did it on purpose and they did it to compete with each other. So who knows? This guy does not look very warlocky. That's my problem right now. Should I give him tattoos? Maybe this arm is just like flowy sleeves, just because. A little bit more of like a cloak. I might call this one here. I'm getting a little lost in the weeds. Skulls on the pauldrons. Does he need more skulls? Everybody needs more skulls. I think this eye needs to come down a little more. It's a little too high. It might be just a little too big or too small, I'm not sure. Maybe it just needs to be a pinpoint. Oh yeah, that looks good. Do people like art talk over D&D talk, or is it okay that we do both? I feel like this channel is funded by D&D players, but run like an art channel. I think that's how it should be. Warlocks are edgy, yeah. Derivative is like the fact that most elves are fair, light-skinned, and tall because of Tolkien. Yeah, like so most of the fantasy races that we deal with are based off of Tolkien's work, so they're all derivative. Like, there are a few instances where that's not the case, but for the most part, that's it, and that's fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. I think a lot of snooty artists. I think the best example I can think of that is Frank from Always Sunny, just like bullshit derivative. Like, it's kind of an insult for artists. Because it's like, oh, you didn't come up with something original. You just took something that was popular and did that. And it's like, yeah, it's because it's cool. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. People are always going to find a reason to feel more uppity to other people. I think I got to call this one. I'm not sure what else to do with it. So, I don't really want to. I could add one skull. I'll add one skull and then we're going to call it. There's a little skull right here. Like, I mean, most of my work is based off of Frazetta's. Like, they inspire me to do stuff. Frazetta and Wayne Reynolds. Just like all the old Conan stuff. So my stuff is definitely derivative as well. Like, that's how you build a style. But yeah. Okay, that one's done. Let's move on to the next one. What color are we doing? Let's see what the poll says. 43% say red. Okay. Red it is. All right. Roll some dice. 8. We did that one on Wednesday. I don't know why that one didn't get deleted. Sorry about that. Hold on a second. Delete. The necromancer orc outlaw with a wand pistol and a bone saw. What is a wand pistol? Is it a pistol that shoots wands? Like instead of a barrel? Or is it a pistol but like wielded like, or sorry, like a wand that's wielded like a pistol? Alrighty, red. Red. Orc necromancer. I do like the wand slinger build idea. It's like a gunslinger, but they use wands. I tried to build one of those with the thaumaturge. It did not work out as well as I intended. But Pathfinder's a weird system. Pathfinder is a very weird system. Orc and necromancer sounds pretty cool, though. Are you feeling lucky, punk? Yeah, exactly. Is rugby now a Verdun? No. No, rugby's just a rugby. Why would you say that, Cosmic? Because he's so tall? Call him a spell gun. A character who has a pistol that shot spells most attacks like fireball. Yeah, you can do that. 45 spell slot. Yeah. Yeah, magically enchanted bullets let you do that kind of stuff, which I had a lot of fun with those in the past. 3.5 in Pathfinder let you do that kind of stuff a lot, where you could just enchant a whole stack of ammunition for arrows or bullets and just put a spell in it. It's great. It's expensive, but super fun. Cowboy Spider-Man? How did that work out? You put like rope arrow bullets in or something? Rope arrows are highly underrated. Everyone should have them in their kit. this is a gunslinger, so we're going to have a high collar. But it's also an orc, so we got to make him kind of big. What's the bone saw for? Like, that's the real question. So if it's a gun that just shoots spells, that's a wand. Like, that's the... That goes back to the wand slinger, right? Like, an item that stores magic is essentially a wand. Can you make it look like a gun? Yes, I think so. I think there should be more characters based around that. Like, 100%. Whether you are a wizard that just has this wand pistol... Cowboy Spider-Man had web slingers that were pistols. I made pistols that were pure spells. Gotcha. Okay. Because you could just have the web spell too. And maybe out of spell slots, but I'm not out of shells. Bam, bam, bam. Exactly. Like that's the thing. Is like you're giving someone an item that has spell slots in it, which is that's a thing you can do. They're definitely like wands, rods, staves, all have spell slots stored in them. So yeah, why not make a gun out of it? It's essentially what it's supposed to be. But there's no classes based around that. There's no classes based around wielding magically infused items, except the artificer, and I think that's like probably one of the least well-designed classes in D&D. So I like the idea of spell storing bullets. Yeah, it's super easy. It's been around for a long time. It's just people don't utilize it because they're like, no guns. It's like, what if my gun shoots fireballs or magic missiles? It's like, oh, yeah, sure. It's like, it's exactly the same. There's no reason not to do that. So. I want to put like a skull in his hair. No, I hate it. Nope, I hate it. I'm gonna go bald orc. Maybe the beard? We could give him like a... That feels kind of gunslingery. But then he's got to have like... Yeah, there we go. Just bald on top. Seriously, what's up with the bone saw, though? I just imagine a cowboy wizard and Harry Potter casting gun. Yeah, that's a pretty old meme of just like, pull your wand out, Harry, and then Harry just shoots Voldemort. It's like, oh yeah, guns exist in the wizarding world. Dodge this, you filthy casual. Yeah, Cosmic's got it. Yeah, cowboys and samurais definitely coexisted. At first, thought we were drawing Bane. Yeah, that's not good. Yep, I don't know. I've never run into. I've never myself played somebody that's just like no guns. But we have like also augmented guns quite a bit. Magic bullets, magic cylinders. I mean, there's a spell for abundant ammunition for arrows and stuff. So like, there's all kinds of. I want to say architecture. That's not quite right. It's all over the game. Like the rules to make it work are fine. And then people just take it a little too far. They build a gun that shoots BBs. What is it? Oh, you take a cannonball, you cast shrink on it, and then you launch it out of like a rail gun. But at the end, there's a zone of dispel magic, so it turns it back into a cannonball, and then all the physicists just like fight each other. Bone saw plus orc equal meat. Yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe that's it. I struggle with drawing coats. Coats are hard. One of these days, I should just get more coat reference, is what I should do. Dr. Orc Gun. Doc Orchidae. People don't need to get that reference, it's fine. You're my huckleberry. What makes drawing costs hard? Coats. Oh, what makes drawing coats hard? They're cloth, 1. 2, they're heavy. 3, they overlap a lot. So they just have lots of different angles. Like if you're drawing a person, the coat needs to wrap around their neck and then drape over their body, and then it has a collar that needs to follow a specific line but can flop back or forth. So there's just tons and tons of overlapping pieces of heavy cloth. So it's difficult. It's doable. It's just difficult. If everyone is okay with gnomes making borderline micro machines, oh yeah. Something guns isn't out of the ordinary. Yeah, exactly. Like I think it's fine. I think the argument for people hating to have guns in their games is a little overblown. And I think really what it was is when 5e came out, they just hadn't written anything for it, and so people who had played older editions were like, wait, why can't I have guns? It's not in the book. And then that just, the new generation that came in and started with 5th edition was like, that's not in the book, it shouldn't be there. But really it just was omitted from the book. So it's just an older thing that I think is fine, and they've dealt with it more now. But yeah. Pathfinder was really fun because they had to add an entire, like they added touch AC for certain spells and things like firearms. That's like, yeah, if this touches you, it damages you. It's not just it's not something you can resist like armor. So your armor doesn't matter. So it's only your dexterity. Only your dexterity is how you dodge guns. Some people are more comfortable with bows and guns. I like bows. I love bows. And, I have not played like a full-on ranger in a D&D game. Maybe I'll do that for my next character. I love playing archers in, like, Baldur's Gate and what's the last one? Divinity was pretty good. Dark Alliance. I love playing archers. But whenever I play D&D, I never do. Maybe it's because that's the character I play all the time for other games. Archers and healers. Those are my jams when it comes to video games. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the guns have been around for a long time. Like, so there's no reason for them not to be in D&D. And the pepper box is pretty cool. Like as a mechanical thing, pretty neat. I did play. I had an NPC that was a gunslinger that had 2 dragon breath shotguns. So they just shot fire like fire cones. That was really fun. I love that character. He died real fast though, which is sad. He was a kobold and my party just destroyed him. I have a whole module set up for him that I never got published. Let me see if I can find that real quick. Because I want to share. Why not? It's my channel. I can do that stuff. There we go. Gad Flame Snoot. There he is. Look at that bad boy. Little kobold bandito. I love him. He'll make an appearance sometime. Okay, we got to get this bone saw in here somewhere. I really don't know. Should we draw a wand or should we draw like a gun? In 3.5, guns are in a book. In 5e, guns are in a DM's guide, and I hate that the DM might see that it has a DM-only tool. Oh. There's a lot of discrepancy I see between people arguing that giving things only to the DM makes the game less fun, versus the DM taking things away from the players is less fun. So, like, Pathfinder 2nd edition did this thing where they basically wrote the books as if nothing existed, and then in the DM's guide, it's like, if you think a player should have this, just give it to them. Like, don't worry about the rules, let them have it. So none of the characters, any of the playable races, none of them have fly speeds, even if the characters have wings. Their sizes are all medium unless you specifically want to do something different, with the caveat that the DM has discretion to say that they can do it that way. And that is solely so that players are limited by their choices, and then the DM grants them additional use, like additional access. And I don't know how to feel about that, because, like, on one end, it very much does feel like, hey, why can't the players have the freedom to do this? But that puts more pressure on the DMs. So there's two different camps to look at it that way. Like, where do you put the limits on the DM, or do you put the limit on the DM to deal with things, or do you put the limit on the players so that the DM has power to do whatever? It's kind of something you just kind of have to choose which one you like. I think they did it a fine way, but I'm also very lax as a DM, so I've never run into yeah. I hope that makes sense. I might have kind of gone around the bush there, but do you want the players to have everything and then the DM ban things that they don't want in their games, or do you want to give the players less and let the DM grant them access to certain things? And I've had a lot of people be mad, like, well, it's not in the book, I hate it. They don't want us to have this. It's like, they don't want you to be able to, like, pull one over on your DM. So it's hidden behind a DM wall. And I think that's okay. So your choice in character creation only has as much impact to you that the DM allows. Fun. So yeah, so you're on the opinion that you would. I mean, that's kind of how every game is cosmic, if you think about it. It really is just a matter of how you want to look at it. So would you rather make your character and then have the DM say, no, I'm not allowing that in my game? Or would you rather have less options and then the DM have to give you permission? Does that make sense? Because the books are essentially written in a way that you're limited a little bit. But because they do it that way, everything is balanced for their modules and for most game plays. So if you want to, like, really none of this matters. If you have a good conversation with your DM or you have like a long running game, none of this matters. But this really only affects people that are like playing Adventure League or like might be jumping in on a game or are trying to pick up and learn the game without having to worry about things like flight. Yeah, if it's in a book, I can use it. I just need to clarify what book we're using with the DM. See, so that's the same thing, though. Where do you justify the books? so I think it's the same. Cosmic, you're not wrong. If that's your preference, that's fine. You want the DM to basically have a ban list for you, and that's totally a legitimate preference. But at the end of the day, as long as the DM or GM has total control, then it doesn't matter. Has final say, I guess. I can't draw hands today. I'm just going to make this look like a stick. It's just like a... You just got a wand that's shaped like a gun. I like it. It's a funny idea. At least if I have all the options, there's a chance the DM will allow what's in the book. That's true. Yeah. I hate the DMs who will ban everything not in a player handbook. I mean, yeah, sorry. Play a different game. Like, just, if that's the DM's rule, that's the DM rules. I will do that. If I have more than 2 people just playing D&D, like just the first time they've ever played it, I will limit to just the DM, like just like only use this book, play one session, and then if they're like, that's awesome, I wish I could do this, it's like, cool, here's the book that has that in it, right? I'll use that as an introductory, but after that, I usually don't care. I'll let people do whatever they want. Hey there, I'm new to the channel, found it via the shorts, wanted to pop in here and here on the stream. Yeah, welcome in. DB Koopa, we are doing the viewer suggestion. So if you have a D&D character you'd like to see drawn, let me know and I'll put it on the list. And then the Dice Gods decide which ones we draw. Right now we're drawing a wand-slinging orc. I don't know if I'm going to get the bone saw in. Maybe it's like strapped on his coat. See how like sheath for it, maybe? It's just strapped on there. I'm struggling with his hand today. But yeah, I feel a lot of the rage towards DMs not allowing things can be mitigated by book limitations. So it's like, yeah, I don't know. I think they're both valid options. Not all characters work for all games, and not all players are meant for all campaigns. Just gotta find the right table. I'm losing it. I'm losing it today. I'm not sure which. Coats are hard. I picked a weird one. A weird pose for this. Should have been more traditional. Traditional stance. You want the gun or you want the saw? Magic missile. I guess I could have given him a hat. Didn't think about that. I have a new character I made, but I'm putting so much work into it. Might as well see. Do I just put the description of the race in the chat specifically? Yeah, you can just drop it in here. It's just, yep, Cosmic's got it. 1 sentence-ish. Race class. That's about it. You call hypocritical? Yeah, what's just, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Each game is different. Each DM is different. If you don't like the DM style, become a DM yourself. It's a lot more pressure, but I think I prefer DMing to just playing. It could be that I'm just a control freak. But who knows? I think the crux of the issue is that no one wants to feel like their creation is being snuffed out by subjective opinions of one person. Ah. I mean, okay, I can see that. I can buy that. I'm gonna roll a new die. I think we're done with this one. Let's see what we're doing. Green for the next one. Let me put up a new post while I collect my thoughts. I keep doing this. I keep pulling the keyboard from like way far away. It's like I want the keyboard or I want the mouse. I don't want both. Is it too much if the Aarakocra to suggest they're based on? Nope, that's totally normal. People do that all the time. Yeah, Western Justice, I'm sorry that happened to you, but I can't comment on it, so I'm sorry. I'm gonna roll the dice. Here we go. 11. A Harengon blade singer in fine clothing, light armor. Interesting. Fine clothing or light armor. Okay. Okay. I can do that. We're doing green. I might go a little loose with this one. Harengon are kind of weird. Because because of their legs and the way they are, they're kind of a strange shape. So I think I'm gonna go real soft here. To kind of get the shape I want here. Something like this. What kind of sword should we have for a blade singer? Rapier. Aarakocra soul knife inspired by the Australian magpie. Fancy green and gold vest. Peacock inspired masquerade mask. Ooh, interesting. I'll put it on the list. I need a new mouse. I'm going to put it on my list of things I need to buy. I had an extra mouse and I don't know what happened to it. I think it got used somewhere. It is on the list. I like the asymmetrical sleeves. So we might do that. We might do like a... This one's kind of drapery down. That might get us the flowy, fancy clothes we want. When it comes to game balancing, specifically when you're starting a new campaign, some of the issues I've run into, and like I don't know if I've ever actually straight up banned something. When I was doing the Ash Font campaign, which is the one I did for the Discord and the Patreon group, I asked people not to be monks or sorcerers because those were going to be inherently more powerful than everybody else. And I think three of the like 8 people decided to do that. 4 if you count some players had multiple characters. So, and it did. Their characters were very, very powerful. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, it's 5, but Lars, 2 of them were Larses. So, this is the same person twice. Where do I feel fits since it comes from part on Raiden Love? Oh, the Masquerade part? Yeah, that would make sense. I will say that it's rare for them to color the drawings in for more than 1 or 2 colors. Yeah, I don't generally do colors. Druid does from time to time, but he's taking this week off, so I don't know if he'll be back next week or not. But yeah, so it's usually just a sketch. It's usually just a sketch. Is really the normality of it. What was I saying? I got distracted. I'm sorry. Oh, banning things. Yeah. So, like, at the end of the day, for me, I didn't want to tell people, no, you can't play this, because I want people to play whatever they want. But I knew ahead of time, because as I'm setting things up, it's like, this is going to make the game too easy, or it's going to give these people additional... basically it's going to make them inherently stronger than everybody else, and it's going to throw the balance off of the party. And that's really the thing you have to think about. Because when you're making a character, if you're only thinking about, I want to play this one thing, and you're not thinking about how was everybody playing together going to be different, like, that selfishness causes a lot of contention with the party, especially for balancing, specifically for balancing. So when a DM is blocking things, it's not always them being like, I don't want you to do this, or I don't want this to be hard on me. It's, this will not be fun for other people. right? You have to think about everybody. So try to keep that in mind. That's all I'm saying. Is sometimes when you're making a character, try to keep the whole party in mind. Be like, oh, will this be fun for everybody if I play this? And that's what I'm saying. Not all characters work for every campaign. There have been a handful of times when Kevin the Necromancer is just like, I want to play an evil character. And it's like, I know for a fact these people don't, so we probably shouldn't make you guys play together. We need to find a game where you can all play what you want to play. That would be the only time Monk ever had broken. Honestly, I would have jumped at the opportunity. We've had so many conversations about Monk. Like, Monk is overpowered as balls. I don't know why people think it's not. It starts off... Oh, man. I need to get some more water. I'll be right back. Hold on a second. And then we'll complain about Monk. Okay. Wonder about Ravenloft. Wonder about Ravenloft. Love the idea. Funny. Doctor Who based one shot would be really good. Monk hot take. I think monks are overpowered for most situations because, especially low level. Because the problem is that monks and sorcerers are inherently like forward loaded and ungear specified. Or like they don't require getting gear to make them more powerful. They just are powerful. Which is great low level. And if you're playing a low fantasy game, they are super powered because everything they just have it. It's just in their kit regardless. And so when you can give everybody in the party like, you found a +1 sword, like the monk doesn't care. Like the monk is just already ready to go. They do become underpowered and feel underpowered, undergeared, when they're undergeared at, like, I think 5 to 10, and then really, really badly 10 to 20. That can be fixed super easily with a little bit of homebrew. The fist wraps, I think, are in the game now officially, finally, which then allow the monk to have the +1 weapons, which makes them way better. But just the amount of flexibility they have. You take a monk and throw it in a dungeon, it's no less dangerous than it was when it was, out and about. So. If the highest plays 4, monkey's great. Yeah. That really is the thing, Cosmic. They're very, very powerful early on, and then they just fall off because D&D didn't build the infrastructure for non-gear specific characters to progress. They just didn't. Which I feel is kind of the same problem with the Artificer. The Artificer should be built around manipulation and upgrading of gear. But it's still not in a way that helps anybody that's not like a fighter. So, like, it doesn't make any sense. They really needed the Artificer to be specified in crafting, like, wondrous items and functional spell slot items and things like that, and this just doesn't. Well, this is the best part of Jackie Chan and Bruce Lee. Exactly, yeah. Like, their functionality to, like, maneuver through the map is amazing. And the Barbarian gets some of that, and tons of damage. So it's like, people always just pick the Barbarian instead. or dip monk. Same thing with warlocks. Like, the only really inherent power they have comes at level 2, so everybody just dips warlock, and it's like boring. This is the armor artificer. The only artificer I've ever really liked watching someone play was the one with the steel defender. That was really fun. And Kevin the Necromancer, talked about it a ton to make his steel defender like the thing. But we found ways to like level it up and gear it out. It was really fun. It was really good. The artificer just always needs homebrew, in my experience. Should be the class that gets hard-coded crafting rules. It would definitely have helped. I agree. The 3.5 crafting rules are okay, but they're not super great. Okay, I think we have this, and now I'm just gonna actually draw this. I forgot to draw the other sword. Do rabbits have whiskers? I think rabbits have whiskers. Right? Am I drawing a dog? I feel like I'm drawing a dog. Hold on a second. Maybe we should make him a little poofier. AMV, welcome in. The fact that I can make a better monk using a fighter is appalling. You can also make a better ranger using a fighter. And I would argue you can make a better, a better warlock with a fighter too. So, fighters are great. Unfortunately, Steel Defender scales like milk ages. That is exactly the same thing. Like I was saying, like they have these amazing potential things, and then they just fall off late game. And so if you homebrew them, they're great. You know, like it's required. Artificer feels like the laziest developed thing, in my opinion, because they're like, I don't know, crafting, figure it out. Steel Defender, I don't know, figure it out. It's just like, this isn't a good character. Yeah, so if you homebrew items, Monk gets superpowered again. They're great in Pathfinder. They only need like one or two things, and it makes them just ungodly. If a class is only good with DM fiat and needs help, yeah. I mean, yeah. That was the problem with Ranger. It's the problem with Monk. It's the problem with Artificer. Like, all three of those like need some hardcore erratas to make them function, which is fine. Like, that's just something you kind of have to deal with. And it's not fine like, oh, it's okay, yeah. It's like, but it's fixable is where I'm going with that. Like, you can still play them. I think Ranger's really fun. Ranger can be really, really, really cool. But you have to play with it a little bit. When in doubt, mods. I don't know if it's because I've been playing for so long or my just lack of lack of respect for structure. I homebrew everything anyways, so like none of these are an issue for me. Like I've never had problems with that. Usually every time I play a D&D for more than like a few sessions, somebody's going to get like a bonus feats, someone's going to be getting like unique gear. There's really nothing that I think can't just be... Everything I add should be adding to the game, making characters more unique and have more fun with them. So I have no problem with doing that kind of stuff. Cosmic, if you just want to be bitter and angry and play vanilla, then yeah, you're just stuck with it. Like, that's just how it goes. Why play something that you don't enjoy playing? Change it so it's fun. I wanted to go for like a rope belt, and I feel like they're covered in garlic. I think it's what I'm doing. Giving them like they're a vampire slayer now, I guess. There are two... No. How do I say this? If you're not enjoying something, don't waste your time on it. That's really the big thing. Like, there are so many other options than 5e, if 5e is the problem you're having. Yeah, don't waste your time on it. Pick something else. Find something else. Find another game. Make a new game. You know, lots of people are doing that right now. Sagas is coming out soon, which is great. OKSDM is making some amazing stuff. I think the Kickstarter starts on the 8th. I'll be around for the launch party for that. That'll be really cool. Pathfinder is awesome. I love Pathfinder. But yeah, at the end of the day, if you're not having fun, don't let it make you mad. Just do something different. To be fair, I think they're talking a bit of player feedback from the 24 book. They made the monk actually functional, perhaps to Rook's dismay. The monk is it's gonna be powerful. Like people are just gonna, I don't know. I really think a big part of the problem is the way that functionality is derived. Like, this is only good if it does maximum damage all the time, and it's just like, there's other ways for things to be useful and good. So, and a lot of pushback is like, this doesn't do maximum damage. This doesn't do as much damage as the barbarian. It's like, let the barbarian do damage. Like, what's wrong with the barbarian doing damage? So, game balancing is definitely something that always needs to be looked at, but it's not the only measure of function. My biggest complaint with 5e is the lack of feats. There's just not a lot of good feats. And I love feats. So that's why I love Pathfinder. But people have also argued too many feats. And that's legitimate. Like, they're both... It's just playstyle difference. That's the end of the day. One problem is that 5e is most popular and common due to ease of entry. Which I don't think is a problem. I think that's what it's for. 5e is really, really good at introducing people to tabletop RPGs. So, but also I don't think it's the end-all be-all. Once a lot of people I play with, I'll introduce them to 5e. We'll play a few sessions, maybe like, I think fastest this has ever happened to me is I played a session 0. I played 2 more times with 5e, and then we switched to Pathfinder. It was just like people like jumped in, got it, wanted to do all of these things that weren't in the book or like weren't quite exactly what they wanted. I'm like, we could play Pathfinder instead. It's got that, and we just did, right? Like That's what I'm saying. Like, if the game isn't working for you and you have to like put a lot of work into it, that's fine. If you don't want to put the work in, play something else. Like, don't let the game defeat you and make you angry. Because it's not worth your time. Go find something else. Go find something you enjoy. I hope Blade Singer is the one that has the rapier. I hope I'm doing the right one. Could I ask a kind of specific question about artificers in D&D? You're very welcome to, yeah. What reason would you bring a monk in a party with a rogue or a ranger? For the flavor, for the fun, because you want to just punch. But yeah, that optimized question, like, super common Cosmic. Super tempted to play 3.5, but I would have to DM. I just want to play games with lots of options. Yeah, 3.5 is great. 3.5 got to the point, though, where it was there were too many options, and it falls apart really, really fast late game. And what I mean by falls apart is just like players can easily break the game. There's too many options to break the game. So that was one of the reasons that they scaled it back so hard. It's not accessible for people to kind of just try to jump into if someone has a base comprehension of the system. The power scaling is bonkers. I'm thinking of playing an artificer fighter, and I'm wondering if there is a way I could do alchemy stuff as offense, like throwing potions at people to give negative effects. Is that possible? Yeah. So you can craft things like poisons. Alchemical fire is a pretty standard go-to alchemical thing that you can make. It's just like a fire bomb. I'm trying to think of other functionality to do with specifically alchemy. Grease is a good one. Alchemical glue. I don't know if that's in that. That might be a Pathfinder thing. Check out the 3.5 crafting pages. There's a lot of fun stuff there. You might also just want to look at Pathfinder's alchemical items and see if anything's fun there. One of the go-to tricks I used to do was the smoke bombs. Smoke bombs are really funny. Just run up to somebody and just obscure everybody. A lot of fun stuff there. But with the bombs, you can also change. I would make an argument that you can change a lot of the elemental typing. Like, that's the thing I would talk to your DM about. It's just like, I want to make an ice bomb, or I want to make an acid bomb, or I guess acid vials exist, but thunder bombs, stuff like that. Those things are all around. You would be reflavoring spells, as alchemists don't have harmful concoctions. Yeah, you basically, I think you're limited to smoke powder bombs, alchemical fire, and whether or not your DM will allow you to. Tanglefoot bags, yeah. Tanglefoot bags are a good one. And whether or not you can administer poison by throwing it at people. So, and acid vials. I would absolutely say that all four of those are alchemical crafted items. 5e does not have a very comprehensive, if any, crafting system because they didn't want to bog it down, and their stance has always been, well, we made one in 3.5 just to use that. So you can go back and look at that if you want. But those are kind of the base ones, and then I would just fiddle with it from there. Because yeah, if you want to specialize in, like, I'm an ice wizard, it's like, cool, you make alchemical fire, but it's ice. Or what are the other ones? There's one other that does sonic damage. It's like a Thunderstone? I think Thunderstones are wondrous items that I would argue you could definitely count as an alchemical item. But Tanglefoot bags are fun. Yeah. A lot of the alchemy stuff you're going to have to homebrew. Just, like, take things that exist and just be like, I'm making this with alchemy. It's not actually magic. Because that's how 5e is. You don't want to bog people down with crafting systems. Can I make a boxer and we'll keep up with the other characters? Yeah. I mean, so there's a problem with that. Elven Hair, hello, hello, for my Astral Swashbuckler as promised. Thank you again. Thank you very much for the $20. I appreciate that. And you're welcome. That was a fun draw. I really much like that one. Astral Elves are always good in my book. Cosmic, I'm right there with you. I love that in like all the Dark Souls game. I've tried to play the game without weapons versus like the fist weapons. And that really is the problem I think I see with 5e, is that there aren't enough functional fist weapons. And that's why like the hand wraps kind of fix the problem for the most part. But the other part of it is that they do still get like, they get the ways to upgrade their fist weapons, just like the ranger would need for their bear companion to be functional, right? Like those are the same problem that I think they're slowly addressing. But I think it's mostly gear based. It's still my argument. And they just need to develop that a little more. Elven Hair, we have not yet decided to do a monthly super chat side quest yet. Is there anything you'd like me to sketch? Maybe a rugby or something? Bri, hello, welcome in. Thank you. 1999. I appreciate the slightly discounted. That's pretty great. Welcome in. I appreciate it. Same question to you, Bri. Is there something you'd like me to sketch? Because last month we were doing demons, like little Krampuses. But we haven't picked anything for the new year yet, so if you guys would like me to do a tiny sketch, I am down for that. I think I'm about done with this rabbit. This fancy rabbit lad. I should do a little more, maybe a little more armor. A little padding, maybe? A little bit. Angry gnome. We can do an angry gnome. I think we are about done with this rabbit, though. Did I miss anything? I guess if he has a sword, he should have a scabbard. So we can put the scabbard down here. Maybe some like interesting tattoos on the ears. The materials contribute nothing but single target damage and minor CC. There isn't really much else to compare. Yeah, and like the thing that monks really excel at is like bypassing environmental dangers, jumps, gaps, walls. Like monks are really, really mobile, which lazy DMing can basically just negate. If your players never like dynamically move or challenge anything, then it's just it feels pointless. It feels pointless to have any of that ability. So it's the same thing. Like the same thing with rangers. Like rangers don't have to deal with difficult terrain. It's like, that's okay, we never have difficult terrain in our games. It's like, all right. Tracking also never used for a lot of people. So it's a lot about knowing your players and your characters before you write the campaign, which can be really hard. There's a lot of things that can help with alchemy stuff. I'm really excited about the characters because he's gonna be a Time Lord from Doctor Who. That's fun. Hopefully really fun to play. That sounds cool. I'm not here for long, but how about a Scottish rugby? Kilt and all. Okay. All right, let's get those done. Let's get that going. We're gonna do a Scottish rugby and an angry gnome. I don't know what we're doing, but we're doing it. Does Scottish rugby need a beard? You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna start these off with shapes, and it's gonna be amazing. Gotta remember my Scottish stuff. I feel like they should both have beards. In Pathfinder, the monk could essentially just lock down a creature with their infinite punch stuns. And so 5e nerfed the hell out of it. But it's still really good. They also, like, the other thing that limited them as well was the capping of stats. Like, that's a big thing that 5e did to keep the game balanced, was just limiting the amount of stats you could get. Because, like, Pathfinder, like, my character's got, like, 34 int right now. Which, if you just want numbers, Pathfinder's the way to go. That's why you should never design a class with a specific environment in mind. Yeah, but I also like that. Like, I know people that like that idea. Like, I love rangers, but they have to be, like, suited for your campaign. They don't work super well if you're just all over the place. They do now. You can kind of, they fiddled it with it a little bit, and I think that's fine. But rangers really, to me, are like amazing NPCs and really fun guides. That if you don't want to deal with that, and you're just looking for a nice arcadey game, the fighter is going to be better. The fighter's just going to be better. But I'm not a big fan of, like, animal companions in games. So whenever I'm a ranger, I always try to get rid of them. There we go. That looks better. You can turn off class ability with level design. Something has gone wrong. I think that's... I don't want to get in the weeds here about it, even though I think we kind of already are, because I don't want to just be trashing on 5e and shit for the rest of the day. But not all of your abilities have to be active at all like the same time, you know? So, like, you as a DM should not be trying to turn off people's abilities, right? If you have a barbarian, I'm just never going to throw anything that has bludgeoning damage on them, so because they're just resistant to it, so it doesn't matter anymore. It's like, no, hit them with bludgeoning. That's totally fine. Like, let them use those abilities. That makes sense. But, you know, throwing things that do acid damage from time to time is really good. And so the game should be built that way to where it doesn't feel like your characters are being punished or just, like, run through the ringer for no reason. Which I think is the thing people bump into all the time. I know I've done it to my players in the past. Like, it was something I had to learn. It's just like, oh, if a character has 1,000 AC, I'll just stop throwing things that worry about AC. And then they're like, well, now my character's just useless. That's not fun. So when you're running something like a ranger, I think it's good for the DM to make them useful, you know. But also, if you're like, hey, we're gonna run Candlekeep, it's like, well, it's stupid. My ranger's only good in the forest. It's like, why did you build a forest-specific ranger for this campaign? It goes both ways, right? Like, if the only thing you want is like, I want to play this one thing, and it sucks because the DM doesn't let me play this thing, it's like, why is that character in this game? Who wrote first? Did the DM have the idea and they didn't tell you, and you designed the character wrong for it? Or is the game now meandering away from the thing that you were highly specialized in, which I think is just kind of a bummer. Looks like one hell of a buddy cop duo. Yeah. Look at him in moniker, by the way. So I definitely very much like the idea of the ranger and being very specific. And as a DM, you should reward your player for being that specific. You know, don't give them quests that aren't going to be useful to that player. Or if you are going to play that specific of a character, maybe have multiple characters ready, because why would the ranger leave? They don't want to leave like, I'm only dealing with stuff in the valley. I don't want to leave this area. So, you know, that's the old system for it. I've built a necromancer. We're going to a city now where necromancy is illegal. Like, that could be really fun for the players, or it could be a dick move by the DM. And I generally hope that DMs aren't doing that just to be dicks, but there needs to be communication between you and your DM and your players, so that kind of stuff doesn't happen, right? Not all players work for all games. It's just the way it is. Like, if a wizard prepares fly and the players are sent into a dungeon, they don't have to use it. However, if a barbarian is sent into a comet motion mist forest, they're screwed. So that's exactly what I'm talking about. Like, if the DM is doing it deliberately to shut off a character, that's bad DMing. That just is. But barbarians should be susceptible to common motion mists. Like, that's a trap. That's a good trap. How is the barbarian going to deal with that? If you're putting those against your players as challenges, that can be really fun. But it's a lot of intent and a lot of application. How do you apply those things without making them feel unfun? But, on the other hand, I'm playing a barbarian. You're not allowed to use common motion anymore. That's not fair. That's not how that works, in my mind. Like, that's part of playing that character. But, if that's the only thing you're ever going to fight, barbarian might not have been a good choice, and the DM should have warned you about that. Playing a barbarian where you're not allowed to rage once in a while, I think can be very good. Very good for the players. Let's see, it's a hat. Does Rugby need a beard? He's got to have a bagpipe, for sure. How does he play it? I don't know. How does he hold it? Nobody knows. It's just how it goes. I feel like he needs a scarf or something. I guess the kilt, right? Gnome just hates bagpipe music. Rah! Noobish. Just doing more time management stuff would be cool. Just doing more time management stuff would be cool? What? Was that meant for me? If an environment actively prohibits the only thing a feature does, it shouldn't exist, in my opinion. I mean, I don't know how I feel about that. Let me think about it a little bit. Like, so you're saying that calm emotions is only useful to turn off rage? Because fireball is really only useful for turning off wizards. I very much think that this is a lazy DM issue versus a design issue. I'm trying to think of other examples that would maybe be a little better than the calm emotions thing. Is there a forest full of calm emotions? Is that a thing? Is that a thing that's been written? Yeah, Cosmic, I don't know, like, besides, like, anti-magic fields, I don't know why that would be written in as a thing. And I don't think that's the barbarian's fault. How do you avoid, as a DM, how do you avoid the important NPC that fights with the party from feeling like a DM PC? I don't roll for them. That's usually what I do. Whatever they're doing, they're just doing it off to the side. So, like, on their turns, I don't tell the party what they're doing. I just move them and, like, oh, they shoot an arrow. That's it. So I make sure they don't take up as much time as the players' turns do. And then besides that, I generally have them be way more passive when it comes time for me to, like, solve riddles and stuff. Solve problems. I have them suggest things to the party, like, "Oh, we should probably go through this door. Do you want me to try to pick it, or does someone else have a better idea?" Right? Like, don't ever have them take priority. Let the party suggest things to them as well. Like, "Hey, can you get this door open?" It's like, "Yeah, I'll give it a try." Right? So, don't let them be decision makers. Have them be sounding boards for the party. I mean, really, a wizard is basically could get a paper cut and die. That's true. Yeah. Paper cuts could kill wizards. Like, preventing a party from long resting until an amount of time has changed prevents barbarians from chaining rages, challenging players to be more logical and careful with their resources. That's true too, yeah. Like, I came in mind conversation, so I thought it was you talking about that. Gotcha. I understand. Okay. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that too. To be totally honest, in most 5e campaigns, nobody tracks their rages. We just don't. We don't care. It's like, fight start, rage go. Good. Have fun with it. In Pathfinder, it's very important because if your rage stops, you might die from it. So, 5e is already kind of on the baby mode for barbarians, and we just let it go. We just let it happen. Nobody cares. Atomic Cuisine, say hello. Atomic, welcome in. Hello. But yeah, tracking those kind of resources are really important, and that's why, like, I think the other problem with the 5e monk was that they have a really low number of key points, which in Pathfinder they got through that by making it attached to your wisdom score. So basically, you could have more key points, but you had to stack points into wisdom. And now, that was the other problem with monks in 5e. Rogues are super powerful because they only need dexterity. That's it. And it's just like, this is too much. And monks have that as well. And their unarmored defense is just like, this is too much. So, They have a lot. But then they're capped by the stats, which is, I think, their balancing idea. And I don't know how well it worked. Oh, I hit the wrong button. There we go. Move. Scottish Rugby, Angry Gnome. There we go. Let's do another one. Let's roll some dice. Taco, how are you today, by the way? Turning off long rest hurts everyone, monks, fighters, and warlocks. 3. A frogman monk who just likes punching things. Nice. Okay. Is a frogman different than a gripply? Or is it nondescript? Like, frogman is not actually a thing, is it? God, they are a thing. Alright. Frogman. Let me look at this. Aberration? Oh, no. They're gripplies. Okay, that's fine. What color are we doing here? Purple? The purple. He's the purple. My sub has not expired, but I got 3 ad pre-roll. I think the pre-rolls are stuck. I think you're stuck with pre-rolls, which is a little frustrating. I did say hello. Hello again, Atomic, just so you have it. Step the Wind and Patient Defense are freed by base. Oof. I mean, them being able to catch arrows is freaking bonkers. Like, it's amazing. They gave that to champions in 2nd edition Pathfinder. Like, just party damage negation, which is really fun. And, it is their class. Like, it's almost their whole thing. So, like, that's the monk. Another one is, like, catching arrows is super, super powerful. So much so that it's almost just not worth having ranged people in the game. But it's like, nope, I have to have ranged people in the game. Otherwise, that is useless. So, like, you have to balance it. You have to balance it. All right, Froggo, fist in the cuffs. I accidentally closed Discord somehow. Don't know if anybody was talking in Discord, so it's probably fine. Everything's better with like 1 or 2 levels of rogue. I could see that. Why always Vampire Slayer? What happened to Vampire Support System? Oh, wow. That was like 30 minutes ago, Brian. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Vampire Support System? Is that like someone that just brings you packs of blood? Or like vampire cults? I was watching the Discord. Okay. That's why I like that they're now including melee attacks. Interesting. The problem is when you stop sending archers and start sending casters. Yeah, so that's exactly what I'm talking about. Like when something frustrates a DM to the point where they just stop using something and start finding the things. Like, that's player versus DM. I've definitely done that in my younger years. And it really is just like it's a lazy thing to do. Like, you get frustrated and you just like, well, I guess I'm doing this now. It's like, no. Like, you need to the story needs to make sense, and you just need to find better dynamic ways to run your encounters. And that can be really fun once you start finding that balance. It can be discouraging. Don't get me wrong. It would definitely be discouraging, but like, it's worth the time and effort learning how to deal with it. Froggle monk. I like giving them like the big boxer pants or the MMA pants. It's super fun. Uh-oh. I think we went through the whole playlist. I guess I'll start it over. I'm getting over a sickness, but my body's telling me to sleep more, so I should listen. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. That's probably a good idea. Yeah, Cosmic, those are two really good options. Talk to your DM about it. I had to have a conversation with Kevin the other day about as a player, like my actions as a player, because I was being very kind of grumpy about things, and I kept doing like out of character jokes. I was like, oh yeah, I stab him in the face, and like Kevin knew I was joking because Kevin and I have been playing games forever, but the people we were playing with basically couldn't read my character. They're like, wait, didn't he just stab that guy? And I was like, no, it was a joke. And it's like me making those kind of jokes started confusing people because they couldn't tell if I was saying in-game or out-of-game something. And so it was just a thing. Kevin and I had to sit down, and it's just like, yeah, I don't think I went to Kevin. I'm like, I think I have to stop doing that. And he was like, yeah, I was going to ask you to stop doing that. It's like, I agree. And we had a whole long conversation about just the dynamics of especially when you're adding people to a game or playing with new people. It's like understanding the core tenets of the character between you and the DM can be different between you and the players, and that's okay. But like, you need to have a very good conversation about like, no, my character is very much going to be like this, and if I say something out of place, I was just trying to be funny, and I'm going to stop doing that from now on. Like, it's great. Having that conversation with the DM helped us figured out what we wanted to do with the characters and just moved on from there. So I think it's great to be able to do that. You need to be able to talk to your characters or your players and figure that out. Do you send the sketches to people somehow, or is it just best to just come back to the VOD and stream it with the one shot? So we put them in the Discord. There's a link to the Discord down below. After we do the drawings, we put them in the Discord and draw, and then they're just there. So you can come look at them. What time is it right now? It's 1 o'clock. So I'll be going for another hour at least. So if it does get drawn, I'll put it in the Discord and draw. Otherwise, you can just check back later. Yeah. And then next week, we'll have a new list, and you have to put your suggestion up again next week if you'd like. So if it doesn't get drawn. As a DM, should I make a sheet for every NPC the party runs into, like a barkeep or a shop owner? Ooh, that's tough. That is tough. Generally, what I do is, if it's going to be a reoccurring character, yes, I would. But if it's just kind of like a one-off character they might probably never see again, I wouldn't. And then if the players, I generally have like general stats for those kind of things. You can kind of make them up on the fly. Because if like, we're going to rob this guy, it's like, okay, well, now you need a perception. You need like a sleight of hand, you need diplomacy. Because those three things are going to just start popping up. You can definitely write those things down on the fly. Look it up, find something of similar level. Or in some situations, like if it's really off the cusp, you can basically base it off. So if there's a rogue in your party and you're bumping into another rogue and you need a quick thing, you can look at their sheet and be like, is this person better or worse than them? And then give them a plus or minus diversion before you do the roll, right? So there's a lot of ways to shortcut it. I would generally say you don't need to, but it's nice to have some reference. Yeah. Yep. Hope you start feeling better. Get some rest. We'll talk to you later. I'm of the opinion that only plot significant NPCs get a sheet. That's fair, Atomic. Yeah. Yeah, I generally don't make a sheet for those. Pathfinder has some really cool books called, I believe they are... the Villain Codex, NPC Codex, something like that. And that's nice. That's nice because then you just have and those are online. You can look those up. You just have like a base stat sheet. If somebody's like, oh, I want to talk to this guy, it's like he's essentially a level 4 fighter, and you just look up the book and there's a level 4 fighter for you. So like that's nice to have. I very much like those. But yeah, the other thing, and this is some of my like the best DM advice I can give people, and I try to get as many people to hear this as I can, which maybe I'll make a short about it. Don't feel bad taking a break. Like, if one of your party members stabs somebody and you're like, oh no, that's going to cause some chaos, what do I do? You could get mad and just, like, tell them, no, you missed, and now the guards are mad at you, right? Or you could pause. You could say, I needed 5 minutes to set this up. Everybody roll initiative, and then go get a drink, take a bathroom break, whatever. I need to sit down and figure that out. And then take your time. Take your time to set it up the way you want it. And like make sure you're breathing, because I've had more than one player just randomly die from frustration. Not my players, but like just players I've seen happen, because inexperienced DMs just don't know what to do all of a sudden. So just remember, every goblin, NPC, and owlbear is automatically a member of the party, so you might as well shoot them. That's fair. If there's a good chance the party will hang out with them. Because they're not going to be killing them. That might happen. The player died? Yeah. The first D&D game I ever played, I cheesed the game a little bit. I mean, as much as like a 10-year-old can cheese the game. And I was arguing with the DM because we basically like one-shotted his boss, and then we're arguing about his loot not being cool enough. And the DM was like, oh yeah, you trip on a crack and fall on your axe and you die. And it's like, what? Fist fight ensued. And later I had somebody in a party just continuously poking the DM for just nonsensical stuff, just to mess with the person. And eventually the DM was like, okay, yeah, you do that and your player dies. Like, it's just like, because they just kept wanting to like eat everything they touched, and they're like, yep, cool, you ate this thing, you instantly die, you can't save, you're dead. And it was just completely out of frustration. And it's like, it's kind of funny as like a DM horror story, but it really is, it's that moment of, I don't know what to do with your character, and it's driving me crazy, and I'm removing you from the game, right? Don't let that happen. But take a minute, like, talk to your party about them. Be like, hey, I need a minute. I need to figure this out. You guys have completely derailed what I was planning. I now have nothing planned. I need 5-10 minutes. I think having realistic consequences are good and bad is important. Yeah, and I agree. I completely agree with that. And so that's why you want those consequences to be founded in well thought out consequences, right? Like, so when you don't want to make snap decisions or snap reactions to people just like trying to get your goat. And yeah, take your time. Take 5 minutes. Take a breather. Figure it out. It's the best DM advice I can give to anybody. Look at this wiry little guy. This is great. I'm going to give him, like, punchy gloves. Spiked gauntlets are awesome. Are those in 5e anymore?
Technically not an unarmed strike, it's a weapon.
It's not, though. It is and it's not. One of my favorite jokes, player death is a major problem because then there's no one to play the character. Wait, what? Player death is a major problem because there's no one to play that character. Okay. I like it. That's fine. I think yeah. You know what we don't have enough of? Ioun stones. We need to draw more Ioun stones. Some more muscles in here. Punchy frog. Do you think I would complain about monks if there was gear made for unarmed combat? I don't know. Yeah, what was the other one? It was the spiked gauntlets, the cestus, the guitars. All of those need to apply to unarmed combat, and I think we've fixed some things that way. Plus, like especially with the monks that are specialized in weapons, just like let something be a monk weapon. I mean, it can actively break the game, but that's kind of the problem. It's like all homebrewing needs to go through the DM, but once you do that, like I've had monks use two-handed swords. I've had monks use like mauls and stuff. It can be really fun, but it needs to be okay with the DM, so they know what the power level is going to be, because it's going to be real high. How do you feel about playtest material, Rook? Are you in the I need to wait until the game is finished to play camp? I am. Partially because every time I have somebody bringing something that's been played, like when people will bring, like, I want to play this thing from a third party stuff, I'm really hesitant about because I don't know the competency of the people that wrote it. So I really have to like sit down and read it and look at it and decide whether or not it's functional. Most of the playtest material is okay, but there are also times when we'll be looking at playtest material and like halfway through a campaign just be like, holy crap, no. like this was a bad idea, and I'm pretty sure they were going to fix this. So I'm fine with that. Like I'm totally fine with, like, I'll have players switch classes halfway through a session because they're just like, I hate this. Like I don't like this. I don't want to play whatever anymore. It's like, yeah, so next time we play, roll up something different. I'm totally fine with that. I have no qualms with just swapping out characters and players if someone's not having fun. So I'm usually okay with playtest materials, but if it's third party, I generally want to look at it before I say anything about it, because I've seen some good ones and I've seen some really bad ones. Is that how you would say it? I thought it was more like ion stones. It's from Iomedae, so I don't know. Ioun stones? That's how I always said it. I could be wrong. Someone should look that up. Iomedae, Ioun stones. I know a few people like that if they test something that's not polished yet, it can ruin the game for them. I'm in the, I get to play a new thing camp. Yeah, I'm generally okay with people playing something. And like if people have homebrew ideas, I'm usually okay with letting them try it. But I feel pretty confident about balancing, like, because I've made so many custom characters, items, and classes that Ioun. Okay. Yeah, Ioun stones. Iomade? Ioun stones. So generally, like, when someone's like, I want to do this, like, I can look at it pretty fast and be like, no, that's broken. It's broken as balls. But I've also let people do a lot of stuff. So Kevin and I do a lot of homebrewing. Pretty much every time we play. That's one of the reasons I started making the videos, because, yeah, like, nothing out of the box is quite right, in my opinion. Like, you can always make things better and more fun, more flavorful. Okay, there's my little froggo. I'm gonna take a quick break and get another drink. So I am parched and I am burning through water. Oh, yes. Give me a second, and then we'll roll more dice. Do I have a be right back screen? I might. Ho 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 ho! Be right back. Okay. Are people buffering on YouTube? This says that we're not streaming smoothly. I don't know if I believe them. The stream is lagging for anybody else. Okay. Okay. The stream's current bitrate is 2.6 megs. That is low. That is a low. A little. You a headbanging rugby emote? Don't we have one? What do we have? No, we have, I guess they're on Twitch. We're on Twitch and in the Discord. We should make more YouTube emotes. Did you see that you have almost 13,000 followers? I did. Yeah. One of my YouTube shorts went viral over Christmas break, which is awesome and also terrifying. Corvus told me not to get the imposter syndrome because I was like, I don't think I'll ever be able to make a video that's successful ever again. We'll find out. We'll find out. I think I lost internet. Uh-oh. Did my internet die? Getting quite a bit of snow. Oof. Please be careful. It might snow this weekend. I'm not sure. It's been really weirdly warm, and now the rain's just like blasting us, so I don't know. 18. Warlock. Undead Fire Genasi. Green Flames. Ashen Skin. With a Lich Patron. Nice. I'm just going to go green. Since this one has a color on it. What did he look like without the bugbear costume? That's for Rugby to know and only Rugby to know. He's a goblin. Rugby's a mystery suspected goblin, but never confirmed. As far as I know. As far as I know, is a goblin. He might be a bat. But might be some kind of eldritch being. I'm not sure. Okay. Fire Genasi Lich Warlock. Every time I draw Fire Genasi, I want to make them sexy ladies. It is my way. So if this is somebody's suggestion and they do not want me to do that, please tell me now. Otherwise, we're going sexy. We're going hardcore Urgathoa here. Stygian Ashman? Stygian. Bloody... Okay, I guess so. That would make sense. I think the most broken I've ever made a character was I let Kevin the Necromancer, who was Eldritch Knight? No. What was he originally? Might have been a blood hunter. I think he was a blood hunter. I gave him a Flameberg. He was rolling like 3d6 plus 2d4 plus all these other things. It was bonkers. It was bonkers. Not mine. I got the wasp lady. Nice. Ad break ends in a minute 30. Stupid. Stupid Twitch. I don't like this. We're going to start over. You know what? We haven't done a profile picture yet today. Too pouty. A little bit too pouty. There we go. That's better. Stygian means relating to the river Styx. Oh, I thought Stygian meant blood. Or the soul. I don't remember. Still on Be Right Back. Oh, for cripe's sakes. Sorry, everybody. Wait. I drew a face. I done drew the face. I forgot that I could scream with the little crow. Wait, how do I do that? S? Yep. Ah! There we go. The one air genasi I made was basically that guy from Hellboy Golden Army. Nice. The guy like in the suit? Do, 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 do. Okay, how do we make her look more... Ooh, interesting. If your hair is fire, would your eyebrows be on fire? We have a conundrum. You know what time it is? It's almost 2 o'clock. We should start talking about food. I made the pizza. I made the lentil soup, which is basically just like split pea soup with ham. It was great. Ham from Christmas. Ooh, so good. I mentioned that an undead fire genasi would be like a coal ember, barely glowing. Maybe a trail of soot, suffering in your wake. That's kind of a cool idea. I like that. They wanted green fire, so I definitely should do that. But maybe we could add more looking. That could be interesting. I'm going to have to boogie for a bit. The stream's lagging real hard right now. I hope that's not on my end. It might be on my end. Let me check. It might just be time to call it. Who knows? Is all the body hair on fire? I mean, I think so. Bean Mender, welcome in. It's going to lag real hard. Hold on a second, everybody. Download's fine. Seems like it's good. Upload is up. Rocking it. Also, as a fire genasi, are you bald while sleeping? I don't know why your fire would go out while you're sleeping. I think you're just always on fire. I kind of want to do the, like, what, Ben 10? Old school Marvel look. Where it's like, if you have the fire, the green fire, it's got like this just pitch black inside of it. It's like, that's not how color works, but let's do it. Just like bubbly chemically fire. I think they still do that for some of the Marvel characters. Might be a DC thing too, now that I'm thinking about it. Nice little color variation in there. Eating empanadas, that sounds pretty good. The brimstone, yeah, that could be a good idea. Yeah, I don't know. If the internet starts lagging too hard, we might just call it for the day. It is almost 2 o'clock, so we have been going for a few hours. I always struggle to put clothes on Ifrit's Fire Genasi because I feel like they would just burn it. Like they have to wear metal. Can wear chain, I guess. Can only wear stuff made out of fiberglass or asbestos. I guess I could wear gold, depending on how hot they get. If she's a necromancer warlock, this is gotta
I need healing.
It's gotta be a skull. This way. Wrong side. Always make the triangles wrong direction. Oops, I just realized I didn't draw the ear right. Hold on a second. Let's fill all this in. Blah, 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 blah. There we go. Uh-oh. Glass? Oh, that's cool. I didn't think about that. You guys hear that? Ba, 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 ba. Thank you for whoever played that. I don't know who did. It did not prompt me. YouTube's gonna be. Oh, Twitch. You so silly. Thank you for whoever played the Jaws theme. It's good stuff. And thank you for the drink. Drink your water. Atomic. I keep forgetting. Genasi wear clothes that compensate for the elements? I mean, oh, like, would an ice Genasi wear a coat? Like a big furry coat? I don't know. I guess you would need something that wouldn't freeze. So maybe they'd wear furs. But I always assume they're immune to that element, so like I guess you could always wear metal and it wouldn't matter if it was hot or cold. Okay, we're gonna get rid of this shoulder pad. Glass, huh? Can I make a glass shoulder pad? That seems unreasonable. Drawing glass is always a pain in the butt. There we go. Her. like that idea, though. Just like little ceramic tiles or something for a sleeve. That would be cool. Chainmail bikini. I think we'll probably leave that there. I think that's probably where we're going to call it, though. Because it is almost 2 o'clock. Can I do one more? I feel like I could probably do one more. Let's do one more. Spiky obsidian. That would be cool. Yeah, just like black glass. That would be pretty awesome. It's a hell of a triad, yeah. Let's see if we can do one more quick one. 19. I did that one the other day, too. Dang it. Delete row. Which bumps the... Can I add a portrait of hero snow leopard with shapes portals into weapons? Okay. We will do that one. What color are we doing? Other color, huh? All right. Let's do blue. We haven't done blue in a little while. Snow leopards. What do snow leopards look like? I need references. They got the square faces. I got the hiccups. It's no good. Yeah, boing. Oh no. Boing. Boing, boing, boing. Do this a little different than last time. Can't remember if this is supposed to be a lady cat or not. I think it was. Cosmic, yeah, I mean, would water genocity effectively be wearing glass armor? What material do earth genocity deposit? Am I breathing air genocity? Breathing air genocity. Probably breathing air genocity. I think wind genocity and water genocity can probably just wear whatever. Fish scale would be really cool. Just whatever you put on a merfolk or a trident. That'd be pretty awesome. Glass would work though, like glass baubles and stuff. That'd be really fun. I do wish some of the racial abilities were stronger. Yeah, like they went a little too easy on some of them. But and that's something I argue a lot in the videos. Is like the racial abilities should really have leveling components. But most of them don't. Pathfinder tries to get away with that by giving you ancestry feats, which is kind of fun. But I think there could be a lot more of those too. So I think part of that is that if you make them too strong, then you can start finding combos of stuff that are just really broken. Cough, cough, D&D shorts. Just... if you have this ability and you're level 10, you're invincible. Always play a gnome so you have infinite defenses. Don't forget the lucky feet. It's a bit much. That looks like a bikini, and that's not what I wanted. Combo breaker. Yeah, exactly. What am I going to do for dinner tonight, though? That's the real question. I do have a whole bunch of commissions to work on now, which is great. So I might be working on those in the Discord a little later today. I have a few other projects I want to get finished. I want to start working on the next video next week. We'll see how my time works for that. I wouldn't mind starting a YouTube short that is just DM advice. So if people have DM questions, kind of like what they have today, feel free to send those in the Discord or something, or leave them in a comment, and then I will address them. I'm still on the fence about portal knives. I'm not sure how to feel about them. Oh, okay. Well, something weird's happening. Oh, my color palette got switched. There we go. Hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful weekend. when people get to play some D&D or Pathfinder or whatever else it is you want to play. Talk to your DMs. Try to see what fun shenanigans you can get up to together. Meow. Big old tail. I think it's a big old poof at the end. And then rings? I might be drawing a Tigger tail. Hey poo. I don't remember what Tigger sounds like. Gosh. I think he has some kind of lisp. I can't remember. Is he a cheetah? Or a tiger? So I want to say he's supposed to be a tiger, but he doesn't look like a tiger. He looks like Chester Cheeto. Into the void. Okay. I think that's what I got. What's up, Lathan? Hello, hello. Just about to leave. It's 2 o'clock. I could do one more, maybe. I could do one more. One silly one. We're going to do one silly one, and then we're going to take off. How does that sound? 13. A myconid dex-based Sorcidin that's kind of like a conquistador. Okay, so we got a conquistador mushroom. Let's do it. Let's do it real fast, and then we're going to call it. Conquistadors have like those weird flat hats, right? Is that right? Myconids are great. A chunker snow leopard? Yeah, it was. We always get here when it ends. We usually end at 2 o'clock, so that could be why. I'm not sure if 2 o'clock is just your normal time to be able to be free. So one of these days, I'm gonna have to start streaming a little bit later, which we might start doing that this year to try it out. Just start streaming at noon and go to 3. How do I make this person look like a conquistador? Alright, large breastplate, dumpy hat, poofy sleeves. Okay. I can do that. I refuse to put faces on myconids. They don't know what faces look like. How would they know? They don't need no eyeballs. Should we go super thick legs or super skinny legs? Give him a spear. Should I put the little bucket hat on his head? Spanish thought they were so cool with their bended hats. Look how curvy we can make the metal. Never understood why I was like that. I'm sure it had a reason. The top picture is actually one I was looking at for a reference. Corvus, welcome in. Seems like people always get here at 2, so yeah, maybe I just need to start streaming a little later. Mushroom lattice shirt popping off the bottom. It's kind of what I thought was be funny. Just like a chunky myconid feet. Wait. If you guys have not watched my Why You Split Myconid videos, I highly suggest it. It's great. See if we can get one of those videos to go viral. That'd be awesome. I posted the same video over on TikTok and it got like 400 views. So it's just like, I don't know what happened. Don't know what happened. It's obviously not the content. Okay. I think I am done. We'll put a feather in his hat just because. Maybe next week we'll push everything back an hour. How's that sound? Should we do that? We'll have the live streams start at noon Pacific. And we'll go from there. I don't know what I've done. This is a really weird character. But it's kind of neat. Kind of a neat idea. I gotta try it. Like, Chunky was funny because it's a mushroom, you know, but I kind of want to just do like spindly fiber legs. It's weird little scarecrow feet. I dig it. I dig it. Okay, I think that's it. We're gonna call it there. We had a lot of people suggest things this week, but we also got through like 10 today. So if your stuff did not get drawn, please feel free to put another one out on next week. On Monday, I will post a suggestion prompt on the channel. So if you're not subscribed, subscribe. and that way you can follow that next week. Otherwise, you can just post it next week in the Discord, or the chat, which will be Wednesday and Friday. So we'll do it again next week. We'll push it back an hour, stay a little late, and yeah, that's all I got. I hope you all have a wonderful new year. I hope everything's going well for people. Please stay safe in the snow, stay warm, stay happy, stay healthy, keep your dice on the table, and yeah. Is this the furry entry? No, I just posted the wereshark on Twitter. I thought that was funny for my furry entry, because the wereshark's great. But yeah, I'll be around hanging out today in the Discord doing some commission work, and then next week I might actually stream some of that on like Monday or Tuesday. So we'll see how that goes. That'll probably be a secret stream. But yeah, once again, if you have DM advice questions, please post it on one of the shorts, the YouTube shorts, or one of the videos, the newer videos. And I will try to make shorts about that next week, because I think that's a fun way to do it. So that's all I got. See if there's any